But what happens? What happens? They'll make a song about it, about kicking somebody's back in, and going to get a bag. And what we do, we say, yeah. Kick his back in, kick his back in, kick his back in, right? They make a song about it, and we all applaud it. I want us to address that part of being a human and domestic violence and not doing right by people, right? I want us to address that part in addressing the Puff to Cassie part. Because this is the thing. Let's say all hell does break loose. Let's say he does go to jail. Let's say he does end up paying in retrospect everything that he did wrong. He, one singular, everything that he did wrong, he pays for. Guess what? It's been 1,000 other people that has the same mindset as that. That's gonna be like, oh, he went to jail. You're gonna do it too, though, right? You're gonna do the same thing he did. You're gonna like, yeah, I'm gonna kick his back in and I'm gonna be the boss. And we go like, yeah, let's do it, right? The issue is that. That is the real issue. The issue is not identifying the deficit of humane character. That's the real issue. Welcome to the LUCRATIve Podcast. I am the host, the one, the only Magneto 7 in the building. Hey, I'm here. I'm going to reserve my energy, right? I'm going to reserve my energy. This is episode 150. Episode 150 of the LUCRATIve Podcast. I'm going to reserve my energy, right? Or conserve my energy, because this is the thing. I know we were shooting the pod last week. I think we were shooting the pod last week. And all of the information came out, the footage came out with Puff, and everybody knows kind of what my take has been on the whole situation. And yeah, I gotta go. We gotta dig deeper today. But this is the thing. Before we go deep, and y'all know I'm never gonna take up for anything DV, none of that stuff. I'm never gonna take up for it. But before we go deep, I'm gonna let y'all know a lot of the people. Y'all might not like what I got to say about this. Y'all, and this is not necessarily for the women. I think the women will wholeheartedly agree with a lot of the stuff that I got to say today. I think they'll agree with a lot of the stuff I got to say. But for all of my industry peers and all of my people that's in the business, like I've been in the business for a while, y'all ain't gonna like it. Y'all won't like it. But anyway, welcome to episode 150. We're going to go to the weekend. I'm going to tell y'all this. Shouts out to all of the new graduates of 2024. Shouts out to all y'all. I want to let y'all know this. Bring it down. Although everybody has just got through the whole period of whether it's college, whether it's high school, whatever you just graduated from, just know that you just started. And I know nobody wants to hear that part. You literally just started. So congratulations, but buckle up for a long ride. Let me shout everybody out. Let me get it to YouTube. What up, Angela? Take it. What up? Big Mike, what up? Daniel, what up? You're new here. Welcome. Andrew, what up? Big Mike, what up? And that's it. That's all on YouTube. On TikTok, what up? Beats by Wayne T, what up? Tim Jacobson, what up? NSWT, what up? They feel like NWA, SWV, all the acronyms, all of them, right? IV, what up? Alv, is it? Yeah, how I say your name, bro? You're here like every week. Is it Alvi or Alvi? What is how I pronounce your name, bro? Tell me. Put it like in it like spell it out. Something. Do something. Cause I want to support you and I want to shout people out and let people know. Yo, go follow these people. But anyway, welcome. Let me go to Instagram. Jay Duncan, what up? Hold on. I have sentimental moments, right? I be having sentimental moments when it comes to my pods. Eddie, what up? But back to Jay Duncan, right? So this is like my little brother, aka my homeboy, aka I grew up with his brother. We all cool, right? This is a teachable moment. I always have a lot of teachable moments real early, right? But this is a teachable moment. You don't have to always be in somebody's space to know that y'all are cool. You don't have to always be in somebody's space for y'all to understand that it's cool. Because a lot of the time when it's real genuine friendships, when y'all link back up, it's like it's like a time warp. Y'all stop and then y'all pick right back up where y'all stopped at. So don't feel like you have to always be in somebody's space to have a genuine relationship. But then on the flip side of this, it is okay to go pursue the things that's going to make you better in life. And sometimes you might have a disconnection between the people that you grew up with and the people that you need to get to the next level. Sometimes it's just it's like a little foggy moment. But this is the thing. We don't feel like you have to always overcompensate for something that you didn't do, or overcompensate for a relationship that you feel like you didn't really cultivate. Ask questions. Put the statements out there. Get an understanding and see what that person's mindset is, because a lot of the times we automatically write silence off to being negative. That's why I say it's a teachable moment. A lot of the times we will write silence off to being negative. When it comes to me and achieving all of these like high level things, silence for me is think tank time. I'm thinking I'm getting to wherever we're going to get to for the next 10, 5, 6, whatever years that we're working on. I'm doing that think tank time doing that stuff, right? So don't ever write silence off to being negative. Sometimes silence means growth. Hello. But anyway, Weight Loss 1900, what up? Howard Darrell, what up? Spill a pea. What up? It's your boy Philly 88. What up? And Luminous, what up? She just bought some beats from me, so I can't wait to see what you do with them. I can't wait to see what you do with my beats, because I'm looking forward to it. I am looking forward to it. And if I miss anybody else, please charge it to my head, not my heart. I'm not doing it on purpose. I just know we got to get to the pod. A lot of my YouTube people be like, yo, hey, man, just hurry up and start the pod. I know you're going to talk about Puff. Go ahead and say it. Say what needs to be said. Address the elephant in the room. I'm going to address the elephant in the room. Y'all just got to chill out. Jeez, chill. All right. So if anybody has been under a rock, and by the time y'all hear this, it'll be another week later. So hopefully some of it dies down. I'm so fake. I'm so lame. But hopefully some of this stuff dies down as far as it relates to him. Maybe it not. Maybe it won't. I think a lot of it won't. But anyway, let's get to it. P. Diddy. So I think we've talked about the studio conversations. We've had that conversation on this platform before. Now I want to take it a step further, right? I want to get into the psychology of music business and the psychology of power, right? Put both of those in the same bucket. The psychology of music business and the psychology of power. Now, and I am piggybacking off some of my panel discussion that we had last night, because I was on Felicia Love's talk show, Black Women in Radio. And we got on the whole subject of DV, which is domestic violence, for all this has been under a rock. But we got on the conversation of the domestic violence. And for me, I am just never going to be the guy to write domestic violence off to just a man beating a woman. I'm going to write it to everything that's not supposed to be done. All of the violating aspects of being a human, all of those, all of it's DV. All of it, right? So I like to approach things from a holistic standpoint. I don't ever want to just gang up on one person when it's a whole class of people that's doing the same thing. See what I'm saying? Because this is what again, I'm not diverting my attention away from Puff. I'm not doing that. I just want us to really think about how we view society, right? Everybody that has been in the position of power has the option to either choose something nasty or something that's going to be beneficial to growth. And also, you always have the decision to choose something that's going to better your career and do it with the in conviction, for my church words, for my church people. Doing things with conviction and saying, okay, I know if I do this, I can't show my face over here because they know what I'm about, right? I think a lot of times when you achieve power, that a lot of that starts to get fuzzy, and after it gets fuzzy, it just dissipates. And then you just become invincible. Now, the issue is the same thing that powers you or empowers you to become invincible and become the big boss. And, you remember the video with Puff? He was in the conference room, or he was at the desk. He was like, I'm the greatest, I'm the greatest. And he threw the thing down. I always get what I want. I always get. All of the bosses, all of the people like me that have businesses, we were like, yeah, I want to be like Puff. Ooh, right? Everybody did the same thing. Same thing with Donald Trump. Everyone said, yeah, Trump the biggest. Yeah, I'm going to be like Trump. I'm going to be a billionaire. Trump Towers. All the rappers did it. We all applauded this. We all applauded it. Let's be real. We all applauded the conduct because the power is attractive. We love the power. We love what the power looks like. We all had aspirations to achieve that level of power so we can make a certain amount of calls. Now, when it comes to the whole humane side of things, you really have to have a gauge on the power that you do achieve before you achieve the power, right? Case in point, y'all know I'm one of the most givingest people. Sometimes it's to a default. Sometimes I give what I ain't even got yet. Like, I'm just one of those people, right? So therefore, when I get to the point of being Monday night. But therefore, when I get to the point of achieving a certain level of power or a certain level of success, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to be more of a giver. I'm going to be more of a giver just with more resources. That's the makeup of my mental capacity, my chemistry. That's how I am. That's just me. Now, I know a few of my friends that might be willing to step on somebody's chest or kick somebody in the back and be like, hey, get over there. I'm over here getting this money. But what happens? They'll make a song about it, about kicking somebody's back in and going to get a bag. And what we do, we say, yeah. Kick his back in, right? They make a song about it, and we all applaud it. I want us to address that part of being a human and domestic violence and not doing right by people, right? I want us to address that part in addressing the Puff to Cassie part. Because this is the thing. Let's say all hell does break loose. Let's say he does go to jail. Let's say he does end up paying in retrospect everything that he did wrong. He, one singular, everything that he did wrong, he pays for. Guess what? It's been 1,000 other people that has the same mindset as that. That's gonna be like, oh, he went to jail. You're gonna do it too, though, right? You're gonna do the same thing he did. You're gonna like, yeah, I'm gonna kick his back in and I'm gonna be the boss. And we gonna like, yeah, let's do it, right? The issue is that. That is the real issue. The issue is not identifying the deficit of humane character. That's the real issue. Not identifying it. Because this is the thing. If we don't identify the issue of what's right and what's wrong, just real basic. This is basic, but it's complex at the same time. If we don't identify those things, it's going to always be somebody that's going to take the check over being a human. It's going to always be somebody that's going to take the check and look the other way versus say, oh, yo, you wildin', you need to chill out, bro. It's going to always be somebody to just sit in the back and just let things happen. Because this is another thing. We've heard about Puff doing this stuff in the 90s. But what we do, we championed it. We heard about him hanging Wale off the balcony. Everybody said that can't be true. Right? That's why I say it's not just Cassie and it's not just men to women. It could be man to man. It could be everything. Everything is open for discussion. Everything is open for discussion. So we heard about him hanging Wale off of the edge of the balcony at one of these hotels. Everybody wrote it off and said, that didn't happen. That couldn't be real, right? Then that went away, probably with a little bit of money, a little PR, a little all that stuff, right? Then we heard about the idea of him going and fighting the son's football coach at the school. Everybody's out there and everybody can see it. But we wrote that off and said, yo, he a wild boy. Woo, right? Then we heard about the idea of him threatening to blow up Kid Cudi's car. And we all said, oh, he a wild boy, man. You got that power. When somebody could do that, you got that power. But we never really addressed the real issue. Nobody addressed the issue. We just said, oh, yeah, bro, these are the type of people, end quote, these are the type of people you don't really want to mess with. Right? Everybody said the same thing. Everybody on Instagram, what up? Everybody said the same thing as it relates to Puff. Yo, that's the type of person you don't want to mess with. He got too much power. Okay, well, if we know that there are people like that exist in the higher ups, why don't we try to address that issue and make those people be accountable for their actions and the things that they do, right and wrong, to people? Right? I'm not saying that the idea of him putting money into, I think, the Breakfast Club and Revolt TV and all that stuff, I'm not saying that was bad. That was a good thing. But you can't buy your way out of beating the brakes off somebody. You can't buy your way out of that. And then to take it a step further, we all have heard the stories. It's in the movies, it's in sitcoms where you got this candidate or you got somebody in office and they pay off somebody and they say, oh yeah, just make it go away. What do you think just make it go away means? Just make it go away means I'm going to pay off you for the things that I just did wrong against you, and then I want everybody else to just stop talking about it. You got paid, right? I want us to address that part. Because as long as we just keep overlooking people that have the ability to do that, they will continue to do that. And then even if they get locked up, they have been training somebody else to do the same thing that they've already been doing. It's like an abuser in training. I would say that. It's like an abuser in training. We got to address that. Now, I don't know. And of course, if y'all need an actual statement, yeah, I do not. I don't condone no type of beating a woman. Like, no. That, when I saw the video, honestly, I think I turned it off right after I seen him throw her on the other side of the room. I was like, yo, bro, you wildin'. And I got daughters. Think about it like that. I got daughters, a wife, and mama, aunties, all that, right? I know the strength of a man can overpower a lot of things because we have the DNA makeup to overtake anything. Like we're made to go cut down trees, build houses, carry logs. Our body is literally made to be built like that. It's a reason that our bone density is so thick in comparison to women. It's a reason for all of this stuff. And that's just on a generic level. We're not even talking about the mentality. I didn't want to get into the whole slave discussion. But do y'all think that if on the plantations, the women were the ones that had the ability to do everything? Like, when I say everything, I'm talking about the labor, the mental abuse. If they had the most power to take all of that stuff, why didn't they? when the slave owners would buy certain slaves, why do you think they would spend more for a lot of the dudes sometimes? Because they want to make sure they get the most work out of them. The women, they're like, yeah, I'm gonna make sure that they have some more babies and their babies are gonna be enslaved. But just look at everything. It's just look at, we are literally built to take more. So when you're built to take more and you have all of this power on you, and don't add money, you're gonna add money to the equation. Oh, it's over. It's over. So, prayers to Cassie, prayers to any of the other victims that has had to endure all of this stuff. I think Cat Williams jumped off this whole year and made people be like, yo, it's up. I think Cat Williams made everybody say, yo, it's up. Right? Now that's just from the relational standpoint. Y'all know when I do the podcast, I like to always bring it back to the money, because we all know it's never going to just be about the one thing that's happened when it comes to abusers, when it comes to people that's overextended themselves, when it comes to finances, because we're going to talk about that too. Over leveraging everything. There is an issue there. And let's just talk about it. I'm going to pull this stat up right quick. Everybody on YouTube, y'all probably be able to see this. Everybody else, Goliath, I know you can help me figure this out at some point. But everybody on YouTube, I want y'all to see some of this stuff. Right now, and this stuff that I'm talking about is all of the business ventures that's been affected as a result of Puff doing what he's done. Right? I'm glad that this has happened, but I want to point something out. As of right now, Daggio has dropped Puff as one of the brand ambassadors. Peloton dropped them. Macy's dropped them. Harlem Charter School dropped them. Hulu dropped them. Rebecca Allen, I guess that's the agency, dropped them. And it's a few other companies that's dropped them as a result of all of the stuff that's coming out. And I think it says right now he's been dropped from 18 brands. Right now, Puff has been dropped from 18 brands. Rightfully so, right? But this is another thing. Remember when I said the optics, right? The optics of it all. If there are people that had an inkling that he was the way he was, that did not offer suggestions of help, and they could have, I don't know. But I think it's very ironic that as soon as one party starts to drop them from their brand, they're like, oh, disassociate. This is why it's important for us to build communities of people that believe in us, that have the ability to correct us when we're wrong, that have the ability to support us when we're trying to do something that seems unattainable. We need groups of people and community that help us do this stuff. This is why I say that. This is exactly why I say that. In the event that Puff had a community of people, everyone around him, they should have counseled him. But this is why it's important to have groups of people. Groups, not just your bodyguard, or not just the people that got money, that's getting money from you. Not just the people that's getting money from you. You need groups of people that say, hey, bro, we gonna meet. We gonna come. Everybody come meet in Calabasas. We gonna have a come to Jesus moment with brother Sean. All of the stuff that you've been doing in the last couple of years, that's done today. We're sending you to so-and-so to get real help. Because even the apology, I ain't even touching on the apology. That apology was so half-a ever. That was the most half-a apology I ever seen in my life. That wasn't even a good PR apology. Intervention. Exactly. Scott, a songwriter. Exactly. Intervention. We need those type of people that have the ability to really constrain us and get us to sit down. Because this is something that I noticed. Every time there's an abuser that's done something wrong, and unfortunately, it has been a lot of men to women. It's been a lot of men doing women wrong. But again, that goes back to the regular generic makeup of a man. The regular generic makeup of a man is you're made to endure a lot of trash. Mental, physical. Us men are made to take them slaps and them hits. You're not supposed to pawn those off on a woman. It's like my hand is that big and her hand is that little. That don't even make sense. It don't make sense. But anyway, I want us to all get to the point where that is a norm. Because right now it's not a norm. And the apology that he gave was a trash apology. The real apology, and I think some of it, Sky, and I know some people say he didn't even say her name in the apology. I don't think legally he can say her name. I think that might be where they at with it. I don't think legally he can say her name. But he could have said, after seeing that video, something. He could have said something, but I think this is what's going to happen. And I'm normally right. I hate that I'm right about a lot of stuff. I'm normally right. But I think what's going to happen is he's going to pull the Russell Simmons. There it is. I said it. There it is. I said it. I think he's going to pull the Russell Simmons. If y'all know what the Russell Simmons is, he's going to go to like Bali, or he's going to start his residence somewhere overseas where he's kind of untouchable. He's going to do that. He's going to lay low for a couple years, and he might pop in and out of U.S., in and out, right? But he's just going to chill and not really address the real trauma that has happened. Exactly. He's going to be there. But this is the thing. Even with him being there, I want us to start addressing deficit. Last night's conversation what I had with Black Women Radio, shouts out to Felicia Love because she had me on. I was the only man last night. I'm the only man. I was like, I actually believe in capitalism. But that's a whole nother conversation. But I was just telling them, I said, yo, I think at the foundation of what's going on right now, us people that's either black or that's in the culture, the real wake people, not woke, the real wake people, I think it's time for us to address deficit. And I said that last night. I think it's time for us to address deficit. Cause for me, right? If I were to think of anything wrong in the music business, if I were to think of anything wrong in relationships, if I were to think of anything that's wrong with families, business, anything, right? All of this stuff. If I were to think of anything that's wrong, I think that the foundation of what's wrong is the deficit, right? It's the reason why when the dudes go get the contracts with the NFL team, the NBA team, they get the $1 million contracts. They say, I just want to get my mama a house. It's the first thing they say. I just want to get my mama a house, and I want to do this, I want to do that, do this. They are saying that from a place of deficit. Because that means if you want to get your mom a house, technically that means you didn't grow up in the house that y'all felt like y'all deserved, or the house that you wanted. You didn't really grow up in that space, so therefore you have to fill it with these things. But if you unpack that, how much stuff do you have to give up mentally to achieve the big thing? Whatever the big thing is. For me, it would be the Grammy, the platinum, all that stuff. For me, I had to give up a certain amount of what I deemed as doing some of the soul work. I had to give up some of that to achieve the thing, the Grammy, the placement. Because guess what? You are not going to be the people. The business is not made for you to be. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second. We got to figure out how to change this on the TikTok. We got to figure out how to change that. It's like a little puzzle piece pops up. Then you got to slide it over. But anyway, we have to figure out how to address that part. if we can figure out how to address that part, we won't have a lot of women that's making songs about how wet they box is and how they, that my baby daddy and the sexy all this stuff. Those songs won't even be thought of if the deficit is addressed. A lot of the times, the deficit also provides a certain grit. The deficit provides a certain amount of grit that makes people want to say, oh, I want to be like that. That's why we love the guy that made it out the hood and got the deal on the NFL team, or the guy that made it out the hood and got the $1 million deal, or the girl that came from the strip club and she got a deal now. That's why that stuff is celebrated. If she was stripping in the strip club, why was she stripping in the strip club in the first place? I guarantee you there's probably some level of deficit that's attached to the emotion that pushed her to become a stripper. But then what happens? The labels, they see her, oh, she pretty and she can rap and oh yeah, give her a deal. Or the hood dude that ain't really challenged, that ain't really got a hold of all his emotions, he gonna go up to her because she a baddie, she's stripping, she got all of this stuff, like she's beautiful. He's gonna go for her, and he never addressed the whole daddy issues. He never addressed the whole mama issues. It's loaded. All of this stuff is loaded. So I find it, and this is, and we'll get to another part of the conversation, but I feel like this is the issue with all industries. People that capitalize off of the pain and the deficit of a group of people. Because the billionaires will keep billionairing. They're going to keep spending money on certain artists that they know they can get over on. Because if I could give you, all right, I'm going to go to the next subject. But if I could give you $1 million, right? Just put $1 million on the screen. If I could give you $1 million, and then I can have you do almost anything that I want you to do for this $1 million, right? And that's segmented out. I'm not going to just give you $1 million up front. I'm going to give you $250. You deliver an album, I might give you another $250. You deliver another couple albums, then you get the other $500,000, right? A lot of it works like that. But you got $250 up front, and you had $100. You probably had $100 to $200 in your account before you got that deal. What do you think the average person is going to do after getting that money deposited in their account? If it's a hood dude, they're going to do anything. They're going to say, all right, you want me to do what? Oh, you want me? Okay, cool. You want me to hold this up in my video? All right, I got you. They're going to do it. They're not thinking about the programming of it all. It's a certain level of programming that goes into the products that's pushed in certain communities. Because you're not going to get a Michelob. Well, you might get Michelob up there. But you're not going to get Philly Blunt commercial stuff pushed in Calabasas or down here in Atlanta and Alpharetta. You're not going, or in Lake Norman in North Carolina. You're not going to get Philly Blunts promoted to you as a consistent brand. No. You might get wine. You might get this high-end wine promoted to you. But why is that? Why is that? I want us to fill in the blanks. I can't make you think the way I think, but I challenge you to do some more digging and understand it's never just what you think it is. It's always something else attached to it. So prayers up to Cassie, Puff. I don't know. More stuff is gonna come out. Hopefully, I don't really have to cover none of this because I'm tired of covering it. We've been talking about Puff off and on since November, and for me, it's not going to stop. When you know that people have taken advantage of their star power to push whatever narrative or to make certain women get into to make them do it, it ain't stopping. Unfortunately, it's not going to stop. So I challenge everybody to call out the things that y'all see. If it's something that's nasty, call it out, yo. Call it out. Don't just let somebody suffer in silence while you see what's going on. Don't just let folks suffer in silence while you see what's going on. All right, next up, we're going to talk a little bit about Live Nation, a little bit about tech. Y'all know me. We always got to talk about the money. But I'm bringing Demeza back, cause he does really dope content as it relates to tech industry. Go ahead. When it comes to tech industry, he does a lot of content centered around that stuff, right? So I don't know how I just got a live. Restriction, but I don't know. But anyway, y'all listen to this. Check this out.
Breaking news. Did you see the latest Spotify news? They found a way to screw us out of another 100, 200 million in royalties. Lord have mercy. And these AI generated songs, which is where the record companies want to go, cut out the royalties altogether to creative. I keep telling you, we need a union. The actors and everybody that's negotiating in Hollywood right now, what are they negotiating over? AI use and protection of artists. The record companies don't want to pay royalties. They've grown too big. What happens when a tree gets too big? It falls over. So it's going to happen one of two ways. They're going to cut the artists out completely, or these record companies are too big and they're going to fail. The only thing that could happen right now is to come out of nowhere with something organic and take it all over. And I don't know what's going on with Instagram, but people are hitting me up saying, maybe you're giving away too much free game. I'm having trouble sharing your stuff. It's crazy.
And that is the Mayez, but he's dope. So y'all know we've been talking about tech in the music business for a few weeks now, and I feel like this is going to be like a segment. It's going to end up being like a weekly segment on every pod, because everything has just been progressing so fast, and I think there are a lot of blind spots that's being created as a result of the tech being developed as fast as it's being developed. So I want to just bring a few things to the forefront before we end the pod. I want us to continue to start thinking about what the solution is, as far as where the money can be made. Right now, I did offer an option, and everybody in my community knows how I think about this stuff. But y'all, I'm gonna adopt everybody that's on the lives. I'm gonna adopt y'all to the lucrative community. Y'all are adopted community right now. I foresee there being only mom and pop store operations that generate money and that generate traffic for the hobbyist musician and the independent artist, right? What I mean by that is this: if you have a mom and pop store, and this is how I'm gonna tie the Live Nation into it too, because Live Nation is a part of this, what I'm talking about. But let's say for instance, you get somebody like BJ the Chicago Kid. I love BJ the Chicago Kid, one of the firest singers ever, right? But if you take somebody like him and then you put him up against a Bruno Mars, or you put him up against a Chris Brown, or you put him up against one of these like high level industry, I don't say plants because they've just been here for a while, but you put those type of artists against those type of artists, they'll never get the bag. Like BJ will never get the bag that Chris Brown is currently getting, right? The reason is the time that they came into the business, where the business was when they came in, and how they generated the traffic and the engagement for the artists during that time period. It goes back to y'all remember me talking about people spend money where they feel the safest, or people spend money with people that they've been introduced to directly. I feel like the original version of the music business, although they did push the music down our throat, pause. Although they did push the music heavy, they paid for radio, they paid for all this stuff. Although all that did exist, you had to physically go to the store and go buy the CD. And before that, you had to go to the store and buy the cassette tape. And before that, you had to go to the store and buy the record, right? Now you've taken that one element out of the process of spending money with the artists that you like. You took that element out, and now it's all about streaming. The issue with streaming is you don't have to have a personal connection to the artist that you like. And then if you want to buy the music, you still don't have to have a personal connection to the music, because you can just stream it. You can just stream it everywhere, and it's just, oh, I'm just streaming this, and that. I'm just streaming it, right? Everybody can access the same music from the same platforms current day, right? So you take that element out. Now, I feel like to resolve a lot of the AI stuff and a lot of the tech, you have to learn how to use it. All my independent artists, pull a chair close. Y'all have to learn how to use AI. It's not an option now. Right now, we're in a position with AI where we were back in 2010. Well, no, not even 2010. In 2008, 2007, 2006, we are now there with AI. So back then, if you think about it, and hopefully it make a lot of sense after I break it down. When we were in college, I was in college from 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. I had a bonus year, right? But when you think of all of the tech that existed in that time period, we had Blackberries, we had flip phones still. We only had Black Planet and MySpace as social media pages, our social media, right? We only had that stuff. Now we're loaded with a lot of social media and a lot of tech, but very little connection. Very little connection. Any artist that adopts the concept of building community, real community, not just these, not just some of this. Yeah, I listened to some chick's interview. She was like, yeah, I'm building a community. It's like everything that you're saying says nothing about a community. But anyway, it is up to the artist to adopt the concept of building a community out of their fan base. The people that can do that will be the ones that win, right? What I mean by that is this. If you have the ability to connect with 500 people, real small, we'll keep it small. If you got the ability to connect with 500 people and you know 50 names out of the 500, right? You know 50 names out of the 500. Now those 50 names, every time they come to y'all's lives, every time they come to a concert, you shout them out. You tell them, yo, you been a day one, A1, all this, I rock with you. You got to show them the appreciation. As a result of you really rocking with them, they're going to really rock with you and bring more followers. That might be in the form of sharing your posts. That might be in the form of bringing people to your actual concert. That might be in the form of getting people to buy your merch. You never know how it's going to translate, but the base and the foundation of being a successful artist with this new tech age, with AI, is going to be you building a community of people that support your narrative. Right now, hopefully you have a dope narrative. Hopefully. That's the hope. But yeah, people are only going to stand and rock with the people that they know that they can trust. And can you really blame them? It's been a lot of people, i.e. like the Puffs or some of the other execs. It's been a lot of people that have literally taken resources from everybody. It's been a lot of execs that's just taken and sucked the resources. Pause. Suck up. They've sucking the resources out of certain communities and we've let it happen. I want to challenge you to build your community so they can identify. Remember, the beginning of this pod, we talking about the deficit. Start your group of people that can identify the deficit that you might have fixed. And then after they've done that, let them call out the issues. And then let them point back to you. Yo, he said this a while ago. Y'all need to go listen to him. He be talking about something. That's the only reason why my base is starting to be built as much as it's being built. That's the only reason. I'm not afraid of addressing certain things because guess what? I have lived in deficit. Sometimes still be a deficit. I be like, oh no. Right? But like the deep, dark deficit, I've been there. The whole idea of not having nowhere to go stay, I've been there. The whole idea of being broke and got negative $27 in your account, I've been there. Repo, been there. Foreclosure, been there. I am Mr. Been there. I am Bennard. So therefore, I don't mind sharing information because I am never going to be the person that's aiming to pull resources out of you. I want to make sure I add as many resources as possible. And then the hope is that you identify the value that I brought to you and you want to spend some money. That's the hope. But if you don't get to the point of spending money, at least I was able to encourage you to start thinking a different way, encourage you to start addressing your own issues, and then move from that standpoint. Now, this is the last thing we're going to talk about. Last thing we're going to talk about is Live Nation. Shouts out to Live Nation, man. All right, so this is a perfect example of power becoming too powerful. If you ask me, this is a perfect example of power becoming too powerful. So I don't know if y'all been keeping up with it, but the government, whenever the G get involved, it's something else. But they've brought Live Nation to Capitol Hill and pretty much got them on the ringer for all of the gouging ticket prices that they've brought up. Ticket prices, I've always had an issue with the extra processing fee. I've always had an issue with that. Appreciate the lightning bolt, yo. But I've always had an issue with the extra processing fee when it comes to buying a concert ticket. Because this is one thing. It's a difference between adding an extra $20. Cool. Add extra little 20 piece. Cool. We got there. I'm still here. But if I just paid $500 for a ticket, or even 100 and some change for a ticket. If I just paid that for a ticket, why do you have the ability to attack another 100 and some change onto the ticket? Just because. And I'm going to pay for parking. And I'm going to pay for like any recessional things that I want to get, food, drink, and I'm going to pay for that too. Why did y'all feel like it was okay to gouge the prices? I'm going to tell you why they feel like it was okay to gouge the prices. They bought their way to being a part of the upper class monopoly system. If you control it, you control everything about it, everything about the process. If you own it, you control it. Who is actually going to compete with Ticketmaster? And I think this is something else. I've noticed their glow up since the late 90s. Late 90s all the way through 2007, 2008, 2010, 2009, all the way up to now. I've noticed, it's just been certain venues that they will buy into. And after they buy into the venue, now they say, all right, we're here now. We can control this and we can actually start doing deals with the labels. I thought when that started happening, I thought that was predatory off the rip. One of the first people that did a deal with Live Nation, do y'all know? Do you know? One of the first labels that did a deal with Live Nation. Do y'all know? I'll see if Instagram knows, see if the Super Chats knows, see if anybody on Patreon knows. Okay. All right, nobody said it. Nobody said it yet. All right, so one of the main companies that did a deal with Live Nation was Rock Nation. That's why he renamed Rockefeller to Rock Nation. So one, Dame don't have to get none of that money. And for two, he can control it. What you own, you control. I think that need to be the name of this pod, like the name of this episode. What you own, you control. Because it's genius, but then it goes to the heart part. If you are a trash person and you don't know how to address your own issues, you're going to operate with money or without money the same way. No matter what changes, you're going to be the same person regardless, unless you do the work, get real therapy, get real people to help you address the issues. That's when it'll change. But until then, no, it's a wrap. You're a wrap. It's a wrap. So, do I think the government is going to get on top of this Live Nation thing? Honestly, yeah. It's already a wrap. To me, it's already a wrap. It's just like the idea of TikTok. I was talking about TikTok and the G a while ago, and I'll re-say it because it was a few episodes ago. But so everybody that's in my space, y'all know I have a conspiracy. I'll say that. It's kind of a conspiracy. I personally believe that there's already a deal being made between the G and TikTok, right? And I think the only change is going to happen is everybody's going to open up their app one day and you're going to agree to this new policy. The new policy will in return switch us all over from the Chinese TikTok to the licensed out version of TikTok that operates in the US, and then the US sends them a licensing fee every month, every day, or however they work the deal out. That's what I foresee happening. So if them getting rid of TikTok, no, never. I don't think that'll happen because there's too much money being generated. All they want to do is be able to surveillance the app, and they want to be able to own as much of it as possible. That's what I see happening. Because guess what? If you look at the people that's put money into certain campaigns, they already are part of Meta. And the last time I did this, I got muted. My whole Meta joint got muted. So the people that put money into certain like platforms, they already have invested into certain candidates. Now I will tell y'all to do with that information what you will. I'm not gonna do no more digging. I just like for us to look at it and say, that seems a little different. Why is Zuck over there doing so and so with so and so? That's interesting. I want y'all to look at it like that, right? So as it relates to the TikTok, no, they're gonna license it out. They're not gonna let it tank. They're not gonna let it tank. I think they're gonna license it out, just like Universal started their own licensing. I think it's like a social media site. Go look at all of the stuff that I'm telling y'all about. Go fact check it. Go do your own research, and you pull all the information, and then you make your own analysis. That's what I like to do. Make your own analysis, and then say, okay, this makes sense. That makes sense. That does not make sense. Why are they doing that? Why are they over there in pictures with the... I live my life with a lot of whys. I guess that makes it... I live my life with a lot of whys, W-H-Y, so I can be W-Y-I, W-I-S-E, wise. So wise and wise, right? I live my life with a lot of those. So I want y'all to just pull information, start thinking about what makes sense to your situation, and then just live by it. Adopt your own concept. Don't let nobody tell you on their concept of how you should be living. I don't care who it is. Don't let nobody sell you on their concept of how you should be living. You built that yourself. That's up to you. All right. We got to do we got to pay the bills a little bit. Everybody that is a part of my community, whether you're on TikTok, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube, Patreon, wherever you're watching this from, I have the masterclass officially available for y'all to purchase. Hello. So if you're a producer, you're a singer, you're a songwriter, you're a musician, whatever you are, I have this thing called the 3-day accelerated masterclass. I cover things like publishing, royalties, branding, especially for my producers. I cover a lot of branding and how you should brand yourself to get like these things. Like y'all can't see this on YouTube, but I have my plaques right here. I tell you how I got those, and I'll walk you through the process. That's one of the things. I also show you how to make the beats and how I make my joints so thick. So right now it's only $39.99. So y'all can officially download that joint today. If you're watching this on YouTube, it's going to be in the description. If you're watching this on TikTok, it's in my link tree. If you're watching this on Instagram, it's in my link tree. And everybody that's on Patreon, it is a discount for y'all. So just tap in. All of my products that I have are discounts for y'all. So I think that's the only housekeeping that we got for today. Yeah, and everybody, let's stay prayed up, man. Stay prayed up. Be diligent and doing right. Do right. Just do right. All right. Till next week, I'm going to holler at y'all. Peace.